Okay, if you're thinking about moving to Wilmington, Massachusetts, this video is for you. We're going to share all the best pros on why you should move here, as well as all the cons and why you shouldn't. So this is great if you're undecided and trying to see what's the best reasons to come here. This video is going to be for you. It's going to go through everything that you need to know before moving here. And it's not going to be one-sided. We're also going to share the reasons why you shouldn't move here because it's not for everybody. So with that said, let's get into it. What's going on? My name is Ali, your Wilmington realtor. And if you reach out to me and tell me 2 or 3 things that you like or maybe even don't like, I can not only pinpoint the exact neighborhood, but down to the street and maybe even the exact home that you're looking for. This is my number and email. Copy it. Book your free one-on-one consultation with me and the team, and we'll help you find the perfect spot when you're moving to Wilmington, Massachusetts. All right, let's start off with one of the biggest pros to moving here, and it's all the amenities in Wilmington and surrounding Wilmington. As somebody that moved to Wilmington, I didn't grow up here, I found that the amenities and everything around here was perfect for me and my family. One of the disadvantages of living in suburbs is sometimes you're not close to a lot of things. So you're gonna have to travel a lot. You're not in a place where you can get everything you need in one day. So this is the thing I like about Wilmington. You have shopping centers, you have restaurants, you have big box chain stores, you have local mom and pop shops, you have big national brands, as well as little chains that complement it very well. And you don't need to travel miles on end just to get something that you need. Everything is within driving distance in town or surrounding the town. We have a handful of towns touching Wilmington, and a lot of them have great amenities as well as entertainment, shopping centers as well. So you're never gonna run out of places to go, places to visit, things to buy. So everything that you can possibly want, Lowe's, Target, Home Depot, everything is around you. You don't need to be buying on Amazon every day. You can go in town or the surrounding towns, which is a 5-10 minute drive, and you can find exactly what you need. Another big benefit to living here is the proximity to employment opportunities. You have Boston half an hour away. You have New Hampshire right there. You have a lot of surrounding towns that are well off, that have a lot of employment opportunities. There's a lot of industrial businesses. There's government contractors. There's Analog. There's Raytheon in Woburn right next to us. Wilmington is a great option if you don't want to live where you're working. It's an easy commute. There's the 93 highway as well as the 95. There's 2 train stations in Wilmington that takes you right into Boston. So that's another option. If you don't want to drive there, you can commute. Drive down Main Street, you're going to see tons of businesses, and a lot of them, if not all of them, are currently looking for employees. You're never going to be in a spot where there's no work. There's mom and pop shops that need help, as well as big stores on top of all the industrial businesses. There's a lot of options for you if you're thinking about moving to Wilmington, and having great job opportunities is definitely one of them. And another pro, especially if you're a family, is the great education system. It's definitely well regarded in the public school system and consistently earns high marks for both academics and student support. You'll definitely find dedicated teachers, active parent-teacher organizations, a wide variety of activities ranging from sports to arts to even academic clubs, and they have an exceptional recreational department. All right, let's start with the education. Although Wilmington is not number 1 in the school system in Massachusetts, they have a great school system. They recently rebuilt the high school, the middle school. They take really good care of the kids and really set them up very well. On top of that, another benefit to living in Wilmington is the access and the closeness to other private schools. Close by, there's Phillips Academy, and that's a private boarding school. And this is the one you hear about where the presidents have gone before. Phillips Academy, nationally known. So there's no shortage of great school. There's Austin Prep, which is another great and highly ranked school in the system. There's St. John Prep, Malden Catholic, Arlington Catholic. There's a lot of high-level private schools all around us. If Wilmington doesn't have the exact school that you want to send your kids to, definitely around our town, there's a lot of options. And the recreational department is one thing I love about Wilmington. There's always an activity, a summer camp, something for the kids to do to get them out the house and do something. You know, do you want them to be active? There's always soccer, basketball, baseball. There's always something to do. That's one thing I love about Wilmington, is the ability to go on the website and pick out an activity for them for the next 5, 6, 7 months for them to do. There's also a lot of events for the kids. 4th of July, there's a carnival, there's the Memorial Day parade. There's the Easter egg hunt, which goes on in the town common. There's ice sculptures, there's fireworks. One of the biggest benefits, I feel, to living here is having your kids entertained, and active. Especially for me, as an ex-professional basketball player, I love to have my kids be active and outside. So that's one big plus that won me over when I moved here. Using the education as a jumping off point, you're gonna have your kids here. So it's important to know that the town is safe, and it is. It has very low crime rate, especially compared to the national average. And if you have kids, that's one thing you need to consider. Is it gonna be safe for my kids to walk down the street and be safe? And Wilmington definitely is. When COVID hit, the sense of community was out of this world. Everybody was helping one another. If something happens in town, everybody joins in and tries to help them. If somebody needs something, the community board on Facebook, somebody volunteers. There's no shortage of people helping people in Wilmington and making them feel comfortable. Everybody helps one another. It's great to see. And especially if you're in need and need something, you can turn to the community and it will always support you. I feel like that's very important in a community, because you don't want to go somewhere and then feel like you're on an island, you're by yourself somewhere and nobody there to help you. That's one of the biggest benefits to living here, is having people around you that you know you can depend on in times of need. And Wilmington is definitely one of those places. It's a great place for those that value knowing their neighbors. There's always family-friendly events, as well as organizations that help the veterans, the seniors. It has a strong sense of community and local pride. Another pro to living in Wilmington is all the outdoor space and access to nature right in town and surrounding you. Wilmington is home to several parks. There's the town forest in the north. There's a lot of local parks for the kids. You'll never run out of a park. There's recreational areas. There's Silver Lake in town. Great spot to go swim, fish, kayak. In the summer, it's a very popular local attraction right in town. You can just picnic, enjoy nature. There's also a playground right there on the lake. There's a lot of trails in Wilmington, as well as surrounding Wilmington. There's Harold Parker State Forest right next door. There's a lot of opportunities to go outside and really breathe fresh air. There's the water reservoir in Woburn, and that's just after the town line of Wilmington. It's a great area. It's huge. You can walk it, bike it, run it. You can go there with your dog. You really feel like the town is really preserving the green spaces and making it accessible to everybody. And this, again, if you have kids, I have kids, so I'm biased. I love having all the green spaces. If one park is full, we can just drive 2 minutes, go to another one. So I love that about Wilmington, but there's definitely miles of trails in Wilmington that you can walk, hike, and go on a bike ride. So you'll never be bored if you're an outdoorsy person in Wilmington. You'll always have access to something to do outside. And another bonus to living here is all the real estate and housing options that you have. If you're a family, there's single families. If you just want to rent, there's rentals that are coming up probably every week. There's a new condo building or apartment building going up. There's 55 and older neighborhoods. There's always that option. You have a lot of different styles of homes: colonial, modern, split, garrison, as well as all types of price ranges. Starting at last year, there was a home that sold for $306,000 in Wilmington, and the highest home went for $1.5 million. Depending where you are in Wilmington, you're going to be able to find a price range that fits your budget. And again, if you're interested, feel free to reach out. We can help you with that. Last year, there was about 250 homes that sold in Wilmington. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of opportunities to get into the home that you want. The median home price for Wilmington last year was around $670,000. But like I said before, you can find well over that or well under that. So it depends on you and your budget and your needs. There's a lot of options with condos now. There's a lot of them popping up. That's great if you're a professional and you just want to be in and out of there. So that's a great option for you. There's no shortage of homes or condos or rentals. You're going to be able to find exactly what you're looking for. Okay, now to the cons of living in Wilmington, Massachusetts. And let's start off with the first con, which is if you're single or maybe if you're married, I don't know. It's the limited nightlife. There's not a lot of things happening after 8, 9 o'clock in Wilmington. So if you're expecting to go out and party, dance all night, you're not going to be able to do it here. With Wilmington being a smaller town, it doesn't offer the nightlife that you'd find in larger cities, of course. If you're a fan of a vibrant nightlife with tons of bars, clubs, late night events, Wilmington is definitely going to fall short of your expectations. So be considerate of that. But being close to other towns, and especially Boston, there's opportunities everywhere. If it's not in Wilmington, it's definitely going to be around it or in Boston. Another con is the commuter traffic. Even though it's a small town, Wilmington experienced definitely its fair share of rush hour traffic, especially on the main roads near the town center. So if you're working in Boston and commuting during peak hours, it's definitely something you need to consider. Wilmington has Route 38 that goes through it all the way through the middle of town, so that gets congested during peak traffic times. But the longer you live in Wilmington, you're definitely going to discover some roads that not a lot of people know, and you can take the back roads. So there's definitely other options. When it gets pretty bad, you know what roads to take. Another con to living here is the limited in-town transportation. Even though there are buses, you can't really rely on them to go everywhere in Wilmington. And especially if you're thinking about going around town, you're definitely gonna need one. If you're thinking about commuting, that's another story. You don't need one. If you're traveling to Boston, you can just park your car at the train station and pick it up when you're done. This can definitely be a challenge if you rely heavily on public transportation for your daily needs. But there are a lot of areas in town that are walkable, and cycling is also an option. And for those commuting to Boston or nearby cities, the commuter rail is definitely a convenient option. But if you're looking for a full and robust transportation system, Wilmington is definitely going to fall short of that. So be mindful and be ready to drive to a lot of places. Another con that you might consider is the cost of living, which is higher than the national average. Even though Wilmington's cost of living is higher than the national average, it's definitely a common trait among Massachusetts towns, especially in the suburbs. From housing, taxes, to groceries and healthcare, you'll likely find that living expenses are somewhat higher than other places in the nation. That's just something to keep in mind when you're moving here. But you're definitely going to find the same theme in a lot of nearby towns in Massachusetts. But you get what you pay for because you get a lot of benefits on the back end. The quality of life is a lot better. There's great schools, safe neighborhoods. You have access to a lot of amenities, as we touched upon, the sense of community. All those factors really end up justifying the cost. It's always good to compare the benefits that you receive against the higher cost of living and what you get out of it. It's one thing to have a higher cost of living and not really receiving much for it. But if you're getting something in the back end, it definitely helps alleviate the pain of paying higher taxes and paying a bit more for other things. That's something else that you should consider when moving here, just to be mindful of the higher prices. The last con I want to touch upon is the weather. You know, the New England weather is famous. So if you're coming from a sunny state, you really have to be prepared for the winters here. Even though personally, it's not as bad as the Canadian weather. I come from Montreal, so the weather is definitely a lot better. Even though you can definitely expect a few storms in the winter, it's definitely nowhere near as other parts of the country. But you can definitely expect harsher weather and a lot of snowfall. On the other hand, summers can also be hot and humid. This up and down in weather temperatures can definitely be a challenge for those used to more stable environments and mild climates. But I know a lot of residents that love and embrace the 4 distinct seasons in here, which also definitely brings a unique beauty to the area, part of the charm of living here. Everything covered in white in the wintertime, summertime, sun blazing, everybody's happy. Definitely adds to the charm and one of the reasons why I love living here. So these are the best pros and cons of living in Wilmington, Massachusetts. I didn't want to make this a 30-minute long video. I wanted to give you the best and worst of living here. But if you weigh the pros and cons, I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons by a long shot. If you're thinking about living here with your family, it's definitely a no-brainer. Great education, safe area, great sense of community, great amenities all around. You can't go wrong by choosing Wilmington. But I definitely encourage you to swing by and see for yourself if you're close by and make up your own opinions, because if you visit the town, you're definitely going to find something that you love about it. And again, if you're interested in finding a home, we can definitely help you pinpoint the exact home, street, neighborhood that you need to live on. So feel free to reach out to us. We'll definitely be able to help you. With that said, I hope this video gave you a better understanding of what to expect if you were thinking about living in Wilmington. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with everybody that's thinking about living in Wilmington, and I'll see you on the next video.